$20 million too much as far as I'm concerned. But it's not like you're indebted to him or you have to follow through with him. Like, what are we doing? Try to win the damn game by bringing in a quarterback that can actually throw the ball. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what the loyalty to Fields is here and why you thought he gave you the best shot at winning that game without going to the bench.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Hopefully these go better. I'm smashed before one on these games. I cannot believe that this game destroyed me. I can. Why did I get involved live? That's on me. Not
that
you.
is on you.
All right,
that's on you.
You didn't have to run up the score. I said it was on me.
It was on you.
Right.
You just didn't see the writing on the wall. Knee it. Let's get out of Dodge.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Can I get an ISO? Come on. Give me the ISO over here.
Give me the ISO. He wants the camera.
Look, I'm going to get nice and comfortable right now. I've been telling you people out there, yes, you people, about the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. My connection to the Irish growing up as a kid. I hated that team. But they called me at the network the most unbiased man here, which means I'm giving you the information straight from the mouth here. You don't have to go anywhere. You get it from me.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
I think Kendre Miller's role continues to grow in this offense. So I think as you're looking at bye weeks continuing on and looking for running back depth, as always, we all know the dynamic can change in a minute, right? We've done this so many times in the last couple of weeks. We were adding Woody Marks before his game. We were adding Brashard Smith last week. I still want to add Brashard Smith this week. I want to add the guys that I think have upside for the second half, and Kendre Miller is definitely one of those backs.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Hour number 2 officially underway. The Early Line right here on the SportsGrid Network. Bright and early we do it. Donnie Rightside and Joe Ranieri. You know what it is. Hey, I'm just tuning in for the first time. Well, if you are, congratulations. We do this Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. every single weekday here. The goal of this program, Joe, I think we do it pretty well. You open up the sports page, you get the knowledge you need to start your day. So when you show up at the water cooler, 9 a.m., 10 a.m., you have lunch with the boys, you know the topics exactly to talk about. That's our goal, Joe. That's what we do here on the SportsGrid Network. The morning show, the Early Line, it's hand in hand, man. It just does.
Listen, knowledge is power, Donnie, right?
Power.
That's how we roll. And your one-stop shop for all of it is right here with us each and every morning, Donnie. So, yeah, gotta love it.
You ever check out the SportsGrid app? Absolutely fantastic stuff. You can go to sportsgrid.com. Absolutely fantastic stuff here. Easy, accessible information designed to put you at the forefront of exactly what you need to know, which includes what actually happened last night. Let's get to the early lineup here, Joe. That's the San Francisco 49ers. They pick up their 5th win of the season. Who's at starting quarterback? Doesn't matter. Who's at wide out? Who cares? Who's playing defense? Nobody really gives a damn because all the 49ers do, it seems like, continue to win. A double-digit victory over the Falcons last night, 20-10, which saw the superstar Christian McCaffrey healthy, catching passes, scoring touchdowns, and toting the rock in a 20-10 victory last night over the Falcons.
Oh, it was the Christian McCaffrey show last night. The difference was, yes, I mean, he still caught, 7 passes for over 50 yards, which is what he's been doing all season long. But it was the 123 on the ground, Donnie. That was the most impressive against what was supposed to be a pretty good Atlanta Falcons front, right? That's what we were led to believe, that this whole remade defense was purposely put together to stop games like that. And couldn't get it done. Works for the Bills, didn't work against the 49ers on the road.
No, it certainly didn't. I tell you, it's not working right now. Is that defense for the Washington Commanders. And now maybe the offense won't be working because they're without just about every wide receiver worth any salt on that team. And also now could be down their superstar quarterback in Jaden Daniels. Got tackled, leg got whipped around. Looks like he suffered a right hamstring injury, which is always my favorite thing to read about here. Indications are it's nothing serious. You know what? When's the last time you went to the doctor like, hey, man, nothing serious. Go get that MRI. No, that means there's a chance to be something absolutely serious, which means he's probably going to miss some time. And also, for the people out there, which I see in the reports, oh, he was seen walking without a limp. I've had multiple hamstring injuries. You don't walk with a limp with a hamstring injury. You just can't run and open it up, which is what a quarterback who's mobile needs to do. This is panic time for Jaden Daniels. Already suffered a knee injury, and now the overcompensation sometimes forces the other muscles to kick in, which is your hamstrings, and now they're failing him as well. Washington on the precipice of a disaster, Joe?
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, if I'm Washington, I am just, listen, keep Daniels out. There is no reason to throw him out there. The fact that you had him out there with no McLaurin, no Deebo Samuel, no Noah Brown, you basically left him out there to throw to a bunch of dudes that might as well have been practice squad guys. I think half of them were, Donnie, because they have nobody else. You're going to get him killed. The defense can't stop anybody. He's got nobody to throw the ball to. I mean, just keep him on the sideline, rest up. Next year's another year. He is the future of this franchise. Do not put him in harm's way here, Washington, to try and win a couple of meaningless games down the stretch here.
Now we'll see what happens there with Washington as their season will continue, but will it continue with Marcus Mariota is the question. What if I told you yesterday a passer rating of 25.9 was from a New York Jets quarterback? You probably thought that was Justin Fields. It actually wasn't. It was Tyrod Taylor and his 2 interceptions. But Justin Fields and his 60 passer rating, which I guess is on par. 6 of 12 for Fields, 46 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, 22 yards on the ground. The inept offense for the Jets. The time has come. The Justin Fields experience, can he be our future quarterback? He cannot be your future quarterback. And I don't care if he didn't have Garrett Wilson yesterday. We've seen this all season long with the Jets. The offense just looks terrible when he's in there, but also now looks terrible when Tyrod Taylor is in there. Nothing is going right for the Jets this year, but Justin Fields looks like he's probably headed to the bench. But who knows? Maybe their coach will come out and tell us once again, like, hey, man, just because you have another bad game doesn't mean you need to get benched at this point. I don't know what's going on with the Jets, but they stink.
No, they do. I mean, listen, in Fields' defense, it's not like Tyrod lit him up either there. So bad is bad. This offense is, I mean, epically bad. And it's a shame, too, because the defense has actually kept them in these games. The defense has gotten better. The offense has gotten worse. And it's a recipe for an 0-17 season, Donnie. I mean, there are 5 one-win teams, and the Jets are winless. So there's a race to the bottom in the NFL right now, and the Jets are in front.
You know, it feels like they should be racing to the bottom right now, rightfully so. It's the Las Vegas Raiders. They dropped to 2-5 yesterday. I don't know how they won 2 football games, but maybe it's playing teams like the Tennessee Titans and getting excited about victories. If you want a rocking chair game as easy as it gets for a victory, you tuned in yesterday and saw the Kansas City Chiefs win 31-0. Whatever they wanted to do in the first half for Kansas City, 21-0 at the break, they were laughing at the Vegas Raiders. But they don't have their top wide receiver, the best tight end. I understand it. You can still look competent at this point. Completely inept were the Raiders. If Kansas City, Joe, wanted to score 62 points yesterday and double the score, they could have done that. Rashee Rice is back in the fold, and it looks like that offense machine is starting to move again for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, we mentioned it this morning here, Donnie. Mahomes, 206 yards and 3 touchdowns in the first 3 drives of the game. That was the first quarterback to do that in the history of the NFL. 3 possessions, 200 yards, and 3 TDs. Yeah, good luck with Kansas City. Good luck.
By the way, me and Joe went head-to-head on Saturday on College Football Today, a wonderful program from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. each and every Saturday for you on Vanderbilt, who now sits in the top 10 in the AP poll. Love to see it. Why? Because they beat LSU. And I don't know what time capsule I'm in at this point right now, Joe. When I look at Vanderbilt as a top 10 team, Vanderbilt tangling with the best teams in the SEC, no longer thought of, hey, guys, why do you have Vanderbilt football in your conference? Well, our grade point average is terrible, and they really raise it up. This team is beating the brakes off of good football teams and continues to rise. Could they be a player in the SEC? Could they win the SEC? Well, hey, they knocked off LSU, and I love to see that. Diego Pavia, resurgent Vanderbilt football.
It's crazy, right? I mean, Vandy is for real here, and you can call it what you want, parody or whatever it is here. Vanderbilt has a quarterback; they're very well coached. They have an underrated defense. And listen, LSU, what's LSU's excuse there, Donnie? They have none. So Brian Kelly, could he be on the hot seat as well coming up shortly?
He should be on the hot seat because the hot seat isn't that hot right now in Florida. Why? Because nobody's in that hot seat right now, as Billy Napier did get fired. Understand this. You are hard to be fired in professional sports, and you can call an NCAA football professional sports with the amount of money these coaches make on par with the NFL, and certainly the players started to make some good money as well. But I don't think anybody, like if you are Billy Napier and you looked at your schedule over the past 2 years, you go, what did you actually want me to do? It's the most unbelievable scheduling you will ever see. Like you look at James Franklin. I always joke about this. Like put Billy Napier at the Penn State. The guy's going to win double digits and be like, hey, this is the easiest time of my life. I don't think even Nick Saban in his prime could have navigated Florida's schedule over the past 2 years. Billy Napier's out. He'll get a lot of money. And maybe he was in over his head taking that job to start with. But I don't know who was going to do any damage with that scheduling here. But he's out as of today.
Yeah, well, he's out, and this says way more about Florida than it does Billy Napier, because he's now the fourth consecutive Florida coach that couldn't make it 4 full seasons. That includes Will Muschamp, McElwain, and Dan Mullen. So way to go, Gators. You're really nailing the coaching search here.
You know, we got to go back to get that coaching staff together, get the coaching search party together. How about Ron Zook, man? We go back to the Zooker days back in the early 2000s. I mean, come on now. You're going to go back to Urban Meyer? Why don't you reach out to Steve Spurrier and get the fun and gun going once again there in Gainesville? It is what it is. You're hired to be fired. More hot topics next. Let's take a look at the action in the SEC on Saturday college football. It was sensational. And we'll be right back to do that.
Let's do A.J. Brown. He's seems to be kind of upset with the way things are going. The Eagles will trade A.J. Brown at some point this season, buy or sell.
This is what really annoys fans about certain players. Don't you care about winning? All right, he played last year, won a Super Bowl, right? He's reading books, and he's blah, blah, blah. He's complaining this year, too. And he was complaining while they were winning. Yeah, of course they lost last night to the Giants there, but he had 6 catches, 80 yards. And then I think I heard him come out and say, I don't remember having an offensive meeting with Hurts and Barkley, even though it was reported that they did have a meeting. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. But if they did have a meeting and he's saying he doesn't, what is going on here? Do you really want to be traded? I mean, grass isn't always greener. They're not going to trade you to a good team, right? You're certainly not going to Detroit, or San Francisco. They're not going to trade you to anybody in their own conference that's good, that could compete with them. So just strange. Do I think he's going to be traded? No. They've come out and said he won't be traded, but that, who cares? That could just be to drive the price up if they really wanted to move him. So I'm going to sell this, but, if he really wants to be dealt, he can make life hard, keep complaining, keep doing this and that, embarrassing everybody, but really strange situation what's going on in Philadelphia. You won a Super Bowl, you'd think you'd be happy for a little bit.
I think that, I don't know, would they do this deal? I think Howie Roseman is not adverse to making deals, but George, wouldn't they have to acquire somebody like A.J. Brown to make this kind of trade? I'm going to say sell. I think he's going to stick it out with the team. I think they're going to move him in the offseason. I think they're going to move him.
Fantasy Sports Today. Fridays starting at 3 p.m. Eastern. Only on SportsGrid.
A wild Saturday. We're certainly going to go over that and not preview it here, actually recap it. It's Donnie Rightside and it's Joe Ranieri here. It's the early line on the SportsGrid Network. And we first take a look at that AP Top 25 poll, which came out yesterday. No surprise, the Ohio State Buckeyes there at number 1. But surprises all across the board. Look at Indiana. Yes, Indiana. This isn't a basketball poll from 1988 with Bobby Knight as their head coach. It's Cignetti and the boys sitting at number 2, and they deserve it. How about Texas A&M? Unbeaten this late in the season, unheard of down there in College Station number 3. Alabama left dead to rights after an embarrassing opening day performance against Florida State, which Kalen DeBoer should have been fired. They're now number 4, and Georgia number 5. Impressive stuff all the way through. And we'll start this preview, Joe, with Miami sitting at 9. Wait a second. I thought Miami was 2. Yeah. Miami on Friday night, in case you didn't get the picture here. 24-21, 4 interceptions for Carson Beck, a back-breaking interception late that was deflected at the line of scrimmage, and a great interception, which ended that game. Louisville beats Miami and drops them down. Is this fall starting for Miami earlier than anticipated, Joe? Man.
And it's that's the wonderfulness of Mario Cristobal. I always say each and every year, Donnie, we knew there was going to be at least one game where Mario Cristobal was going to do what he does, which is figure out a way to lose a game because of the way he coaches. And he did it again in that game there. And it was quite obvious that coming off a bye week, they looked about as ridiculous as you could. But that's Cristobal. He does it every year, everywhere he has ever been. He was playing for a tie, Donnie. He was, correct me if I'm wrong, how big a favorite in that game against Louisville? A 2-touchdown
14.
favorite. And he was playing for a tie at the end of that game instead of going to win it. Absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, tough performance there, and that's what you get sometimes when you don't bring your A game here. And also, this wasn't like, hey, by the way, we played Florida State, and then we had this game sandwiched in, and then we're going on the road to take on USC. Oh, my goodness. Like, no, you had a bye week to get ready for this football game at home, and that's the performance that you put out. Not good enough for Miami. They take the loss in that game. But if we keep it moving, the SEC, as we said, was fantastic on Saturday. Georgia, comeback victory. How did they do it? How about 17 unanswered points in the fourth quarter to not only win, but get the cover, 43-35. Gunnar Stockton, 4 touchdowns in the air, 1 on the ground, 5 total in the game. He was really good, and so was that game. Fun game to watch as Georgia knocks off Ole Miss.
Yeah, I mean, that was crazy. I mean, the first 11 possessions of the game, we saw both these teams score. So, I mean, it was out of control. It was totally defense optional in this game. But then all of a sudden, Ole Miss couldn't score at the end, Donnie, while the Bulldogs did. And that was pretty much the difference in the game. I mean, but 510 yards is what Georgia outgained Ole Miss. I mean, when you think about it, this score could have been and should have been a little bit higher than what it was and what it ended up with. But Georgia, congratulations. You won. 17-0 fourth quarter gets it done.
Notre Dame knocks off number 20 USC, and as I've been preaching since that second loss of the season to Texas A&M, Notre Dame will find themselves in the college football playoff. It's smooth sailing the rest of the way on the schedule as they currently sit here at, what are they 12? Let me just take a look at that poll again. Were they 12th or 13th? They are 12th in the polls. How many teams make that college football playoff, y'all? Ooh, that's right, 12 teams. They'll continue to ascend, but I call it the best running back duo in college football is Love and Price. And how about Love's night? 24 carries on the ground, 228. Bad weather, rainy weather, windy weather, be damned. Notre Dame dropped 34 points and wins by double digits over SC, and away they go, marching towards the playoffs. Some people thought would have been unbelievable after starting 0-2, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, it's but not shocking here. I mean, they were a decent favorite in that game, and they were a decent favorite in that game for a reason. To me, it's all about the offense of Notre Dame. That's one of the best that we have seen in a long time, Donnie, there. The defense was the weak link to start the season, but they're starting to figure some things out there as well. So kudos to Notre Dame. They will finish it off and run the table, and they'll be a part of this one way or the other.
Smoking cigars on Rocky Top. Well, that didn't happen on Saturday night. Why? Because the Alabama Crimson Tide picked up a victory and also a cover over the Tennessee Volunteers, 37-20. A completely different looking football team with big wins after big wins after big wins. Alabama, officially back in the SEC, 4-0. How about that, Bama?
Yeah, we had said, man, that kid, that quarterback that they have, Ty Simpson, is no joke. And he lit up that Tennessee secondary. And this is not the Tennessee of old, by the way, where, they're going to go out there and they're going to drop 40 points and 50 points on teams. The defense was over the top good for Alabama. Again, this was the Alabama team we thought we were getting this year, and they're really starting to come into their own now.
Holy war, holy moly. BYU 24-21 over Utah. Number 11 now in the country. I thought when BYU lost their quarterback to transfer, there's no way they could survive. 7-0 are the Cougars.
Donnie, we talked about this on the spread lines last week, saying how is a 5-0 BYU team at home a 3.5, 4-point underdog here? Made absolutely no sense. And the money kept rolling in on Utah because it closed at 4.5. Yeah, that was BYU showing you they are very much for real here.
My two plays on Saturday in college football today for the Vanderbilt game was Vanderbilt -2.5 and Diego Pavia over 56.5 rushing yards. Well, Diego Pavia and Vanderbilt won, and Diego Pavia on the ground, 86 yards to lead the team in rushing, and also scored 2 rushing touchdowns and struck that Heisman pose. Vanderbilt crashing in now to the top 10 after knocking off LSU. I don't know. I feel like I'm in bizarro world right now.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Diego Pavia has got Vandy considered as a national title contender. I mean, that's not, if you thought that was impossible, watch this team play, Donnie. This is no joke. Clark Lee is one of the best college football coaches nobody's talking about.
Yeah, how about that, man? Look, Brian Kelly, all that hype, all those 5-star athletes, and now sitting at 5-2. It's like, okay, they got 2 losses. That ain't only going to be their only 2 losses in the SEC this season. I'm telling you right now, Brian Kelly might be on the hot seat. How could you be on the hot seat when you just had a top 10 team? They don't put up with that here. You lose 3 and 4 games in the SEC, your job is on the line absolutely every single time. You know who else's jobs could be on the line? I don't know about that, but season on the line? Yeah, Toronto and Seattle. Game 7, people. Let's handicap it next.
After the first week of football, who'd have thought Alabama would be right back on the top? After a couple losses, Texas would have a chance to be back where they are. And we've all kind of watched Texas A&M and Ole Miss kind of jump right in the hunt. And, that Texas A&M's kind of become my dark horse because they can beat you offensively and they can beat you defensively.
The Bowden Blitz, only on SportsGrid.
I apologize to our fans. We need to do better. That's all you need to say, Scott, right? But Tua goes out there, my kids love me. I'm rich. I don't care. You got your dumbass coach coming out here, and we play to win. You got to win the game, and you got to win. And, the Dolphins press conferences make it way worse. If I was a Dolphin fan, I just want to punch these guys in the face.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
This one's for you, Tommy Reynolds. I know you're a Rochester Americans guy, but the big team, the Buffalo Sabres, at home against the listless Rangers. Can we get plus 102? We can in overtime. Knockaroo does it again. Buffalo over the Rangers.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circus Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
We got a game number 7 in Major League Baseball. Who loves to hear that? I do. And it's sandwiched in between 2 football games. It's the perfect Monday night to get down to business, win some money, and have fun handicapping these games. But as we take a look, Joe, and try to find the edge, the books are going, yeah, we don't have any edge. So what do? Hit that dartboard, throw it up against the wall, and it goes, minus 120 sounds good. 7.5 sounds good. Let the people get after it. It's George Kirby versus Shane Bieber. For how long? We don't know. It's all hands on deck. The craziest of crazy environments is like when you have like end-all be-all games in the NFL, right? It's a playoffs, 1-game playoff. Okay, well, Patrick Mahomes doesn't get pulled in the second quarter, right? Jalen Hurts doesn't get pulled in the second quarter. You ride it out, you let your best starters start. That's not the case in Major League Baseball. As hard a handicap as you're going to find, Joe, is going to take place tonight. So that's why we need the big guns. It's Donnie Rightside and Joe Ranieri. What gives tonight? Seattle and Toronto. Flip your coin. It's coming up heads or tails, Joe. What is it?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Bieber seemed to have figured some things out the last time he pitched in this series here in a pretty important game as well. And boy, he had the Mariners hitters kind of scratch and gave up, I think, a run or a home run early. And then he settled in, and all the pitches he wasn't able to locate previously, he figured that out. He's going to need to be that good again here tonight against Seattle. Listen, Kirby had been very good until, of course, the last time he pitched in this series, and he wasn't very good as the bats of Toronto came alive. To me, Donnie, it's simple. It's home run or bust for Seattle. Toronto can hit for power just as much as Seattle can, but they have an ability to be able to win other ways. The 3 errors last night by Seattle are concerning. Toronto is the better defensive team. They hit better average. They get more guys on. That to me is the difference in this series. I think the pitching is going to be a wash. They're just going to throw everybody and anybody out there to give them a chance to win this. But I think ultimately this isn't going to be what Detroit and Seattle was for 15 innings. This is going to be, there are going to be runs scored in this game like the previous 5 games had been, Donnie. It's 7.5. How are we looking at anything but the over again here?
It's hard because, again, you look at that game number 7 where you don't really know what happens and every out is magnified, which sometimes you say to yourself, well, Donnie, what does that mean? No. A game played in, let's just say, July or August. It's like, okay, runner on second base, nobody out. We're not bunting this guy through. We're going to get some base hits. You're going to see a lot of outs and productive outs for the winning team tonight because sometimes it's not, Joe, you got to go yard and that's all we can do. It's, all right, I got a guy on second base with nobody out. Let me hit a sac fly to right field, move that guy to third base. Let me hit another sac fly to get that guy and 2 outs given up for 1 run to be scored. That's what I'm interested in. But also understand this, like the psychology, Joe, of this series has been incredible. You take a look at the first 2 games in Toronto, Seattle smokes them, goes back home. It's like, we're never getting back even for a game 6 to be played in Toronto. And you find yourself in a game number 7 because of all that momentum once again back on your side with a big performance last night. 6-2 game on Friday night, but it wasn't as if you had an unbelievable performance out of the plate. Eugenio Suarez hit 2 home runs. 1 was a grand slam. Credit that. But that game probably should have been under 2-1 or even headed to extra innings at that point, and it certainly wasn't. So I look at this game and say the momentum is clearly on Toronto's side. If you're just betting this game and say, flip the coin, home field advantage is a big advantage to have. Staving off elimination last night and riding it tonight, like even without the handicap side of it, Joe, I am going with Toronto tonight as being able to win this. Never thought I'd say that after the first 2 games.
Crazy, right? It's absolutely crazy. I mean, call me nuts here, but again, I'm telling you, the ability of the Blue Jays, who have basically offensive statistics, Donnie, they are dominating Seattle across the board in the postseason and have played 1 less game. So it's not like Seattle's the better power hitting team. They have just as many home runs as Seattle, if not 1 more, I think now. So to me, this is all about the ability of guys to not strike out. How many times did Seattle strike out last night? 13 times, Donnie. If you don't put the ball in play, good things don't happen. That's exactly what the Blue Jays do. I'm with you. At home, they've been the best team there all season long for a reason.
Yeah, you take a look also here. The total 7.5. We'll see where that winds up, but we are starting to see some of this movement here. BetMGM is at minus 135 right now. I don't know how much higher the line can go over 130 because there isn't a distinctive advantage either side, and you're basically playing for home field advantage at this point. But for me, again, I do think Seattle wins. The total is very interesting to me because I'm always with you, Joe, in this series. Just look at the way it's gone since game number one. Over. So what changes tonight? And all it takes sometimes is one swing of the bat in that first inning with a guy on base, and it's 2-0, and away you go. But also, the longer this game goes, Joe, without scoring, the tenser it gets, and you love to see that as a fan. Good luck tonight watching that game. If you're a fan of Seattle, Toronto, we'll certainly be watching along. Let's get back to the NFL, people. Big doings yesterday.
After the first week of football, who'd have thought Alabama would be right back on the top? After a couple losses, Texas would have a chance to be back where they are. And we've all kind of watched Texas A&M and Ole Miss kind of jump right in the hunt. And, that Texas A&M's kind of become my dark horse because they can beat you offensively and they can beat you defensively.
The Bowden Blitz, only on SportsGrid.
I apologize to our fans. We need to do better. That's all you need to say, Scott, right? But Tua goes out there, my kids love me. I'm rich. I don't care. You got your dumbass coach coming out here, and we play to win. You got to win the game, and you got to win. And, the Dolphins press conferences make it way worse. If I was a Dolphin fan, I just want to punch these guys in the face.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
This one's for you, Tommy Reynolds. I know you're a Rochester Americans guy, but the big team, the Buffalo Sabres, at home against the listless Rangers. Can we get plus 102? We can in overtime. Knockaroo does it again. Buffalo over the Rangers.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all three Circus Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
Duval. Yeah, I wish they were in Duval yesterday. That's the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yep, they got smoked 35-7. And quite frankly, the score indicated was crazy. How this game stayed under, I don't know. Jacksonville was living in Rams territory, but just couldn't punch through. And the Rams seemed like they were just toying with everybody. The final statistics here for Matthew Stafford, $182. Oh, that's not good. 5 touchdown passes, no interceptions. They did what they had to do, which was a blowout victory over the Jacksonville Jaguars, even without their best player in Puka Nacua.
Yeah, it's, of course, that's why you get a guy like Devontae Adams, right? It's because they did not skip a beat here. But it was interesting, Donnie, that whole game. And again, we told you that first time ever a quarterback has thrown for 5 touchdown passes in an international game. The thing that was crazy was that they had just flown in 24 hours earlier, Donnie. It's the first time a team waited that long to fly in. So they basically flew in, landed, checked into the hotel, and went and played a football game. And you know what? There's going to be other teams doing that now since they looked as good as they did in that spot. So kudos to Devontae Adams and the Stafford and company. Liam Cohn clearly outcoached. McVay pretty much had him owned from the get-go in that one.
By the way, 2 things about overseas. I've always been a proponent of it. I think it's terrible here. But watch what's going to happen now. if the Rams did crack the code, which we don't know, we don't have any long history on which the right way to go over there and the right way not to. It was always thought of to go over early. But also, you know what the NFL likes that? You're there for interviews. You're seen walking around town. It's good PR. The NFL is probably going to put a stop to what the Rams did. Hey, let's practice on the East Coast and then fly over there the day before. Watch them get upset about it, because it's not about the product on the field. It's about how to make as much money as you possibly can, and who cares if the teams stink when they show up. Number two, can we just stop with this, Joe Ranieri, on the overseas games? If you go over there, their grass is not the same as ours. Soccer fields, when you watch them play, they're built on, yes, they need a lot of give. Slide tackles, hitting the turf, sliding all around. It's what soccer does. It's not built for football. It was once again an ice skating rink. So when you go overseas, you must put in a turf. I don't care if the players don't like it. You must put in a turf field so we can watch the same level of football that we get in the United States that we do overseas. The minute I saw that game where defensive ends were sliding like it was slip and slide off of my TV screen, what an absolute embarrassment. You can't do this. But again, the NFL doesn't care about the product on the field. It's just about how much money they can make. Embarrassing field once again overseas, and it's not going to be the first time you see it, nor the last time at this point. How about the Philadelphia Eagles? 28-22 victory yesterday. I was wrong. I thought Saquon Barkley would have a pretty good day. 44 yards, not good enough. Jalen Hurts, 19 of 23, 326, a perfect passer rating in a victory over Carson Wentz and the Vikings. Was it a great performance by the Eagles? No. But you want balanced scoring? 7 in the first, 7 in the second, 7 in the third, and 7 in the fourth. The Eagles hold on to get the victory over the Vikings.
And it was crazy. A perfect passer rating and averaged over 14 yards a pass.
Unbelievable.
It was, I mean, he was, for all that noise about this offense, it's broke and yada, yada. Well, you knew Minnesota was going to come after him, and they did, and they were ready for it. A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, huge games there. And that's exactly why they went on the road, ended this losing streak, and beat a pretty good defense in the Minnesota Vikings.
Look, sooner than later, Kevin O'Toole is catching a lot of heat in Philadelphia. And we've all watched football. We understand what strategies are. You take a look at the defense for Brian Flores. He was basically telling you, I'm going to load the box. I'm going to blitz every play. If you're not going to throw deep, we are going to beat on you. And for large portions of that game, he was like, let's keep doing the same thing. Once they started saying, we can drop back 5 steps, block it, and throw deep to wide receivers that are Ferraris, and it works, that's what happened yesterday. And you're right, 183 for Devonta Smith, 121 for A.J. Brown, one-on-one coverage, beat it. They are man beaters right there. And they did that yesterday, so the Eagles picked up the victory here. How about the Patriots and the Titans? Many thought that the Patriots would win that game, and they should have, and they did. A little bit touch and go early, but when you just waited out on the Titans, they're just not talented enough. They're just going to make mistakes, and that's exactly what they did once again yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it was nice that they came out and played with a little bit of energy there, but they just don't have the talent. There was a clear discrepancy in talent in that game once the Patriots got it going there, because pretty much defensively, Tennessee had absolutely no answer. Had no clue. To Drake May had no answer to try to figure out how to stop him or the running game. It was a good win by the Patriots, but the Titans, Mike, I don't care who the coach is. If you don't have the players, Donnie, you don't have the players.
We vote every couple of years, midterms in the United States, presidential elections. You understand it. If you don't like what's going on, you have a chance to vote. I feel bad for the Jets fans because you don't have the same vote. Can you imagine if every person that went through MetLife Stadium over the past 5 years got the vote to see who your coach is going to be, your quarterback, and your owner? There would be massive changes and people would have to do better. The Jets sit 0-7, 0-5 at home. Another embarrassing performance, but Fields is like, hey, man, God's got us. It's all good.
Were you surprised that you got pulled?
A little bit, but at the same time, I can't be mad at the decision. I understand why. It's life. It's football. I've learned to not take anything personal. Coach AG, I think he wanted to see if there was a spark, but like I told you guys earlier in the week, I'm about to just be real right now. I've always asked God to give me an opportunity and a platform to spread his word, and sometimes it doesn't play out the way you always plan it. Spread that message and really kind of, I'm probably at a low right now, and I think the old me would, it's just now like, my faith is so rooted in Christ to where it's like I told you guys earlier this week, nothing can break me. And this thing that's happening right now is a great opportunity for me to spread His word and spread His love.
Yeah, I cut him immediately on that. If I and again, it has nothing to do with you. You can be religious. That's all fine and good. You know what the Jets fans need to hear? I suck right now. I know exactly why they benched me. I'm going to do everything in my power to try to get better. But instead he goes, I'm not sure why they cut me, but you know what? If I can praise the Lord Jesus Christ and go out there on the weekends here, I think that's good enough for me. That's the opposite response you want. Admit you suck, move on, tell us you'll get better, even if you won't, Joe.
Oh, so now he can't be mad at the decision. Dude, you blow. Like, what is there to, like, you should have been taken out a week ago. Like, I don't even understand what we're talking about here. Like, you're not mad at the decision? No, Jet fans are mad at the decision that Aaron Glenn, for some reason, stood up all week long, making it seem like, how dare you? Fields is our quarterback. There's no way I'm taking him out. Oh, really? Well, boy, he changed that tune in that game real quickly, didn't he? So it's just you don't have a quarterback. You don't have any sort of continuity on the offensive side of the ball. It's a giant waste. Go 0-17 and start from scratch, hopefully in the draft. That's the best you can hope for if you're the Jets.
Let's keep it here as well with the New York Jets because, the hiring of Aaron Glenn, I actually agreed with the move to move on from Aaron Rodgers because you're not at a level right now that you're going to win a championship. So why waste money on an L? You have to find out you have a quarterback. So the one thing I do like about the Jets is, okay, Justin Fields, we're going to see if you're a quarterback. You're not the quarterback. So I don't know if you play Tyrod Taylor the rest, but also understand this. You can't just have a whole season that is a complete waste, which means the blocking on the offensive line, the wide receivers, the running game. Like if your quarterback is that bad, your offense can't even function, which you can't even get sound reps on a week-to-week basis. Just watch Justin Fields play quarterback. It's embarrassing. His windup is like 3 times as long as Randall Cunningham back in the 1980s and 1990s. But at least he had the fortitude to actually run around, make plays, and throw the ball deep. He doesn't even throw the football to wide receivers when they're open at this point. And say what you want about Aaron Glenn. You got to have at least a win. I understand that. But now's the time that you want to make sure, Joe, you have no wins. You have to be on the same page as your general manager and owner. Go to your owner today. I'm trying to tank to get a quarterback here. Woody Johnson will agree with that. The Jets should not win another football game or even try to win another football game the rest of the way. But again, watching the Jets complete ineptness on a week-to-week basis, which has been, it feels like, for 20 years, you sort of feel bad for Jets fans at this point now. We'll continue. You feeling bad for the Jets fans? How about those Dolphins fans? Yeah, that's next.
$20 million too much as far as I'm concerned. But it's not like you're indebted to him or you have to follow through with him. Like, what are we doing? Try to win the damn game by bringing in a quarterback that can actually throw the ball. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what the loyalty to Fields is here and why you thought he gave you the best shot at winning that game without going to the bench.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Hopefully these go better. I'm smashed before 1 on these games. I cannot believe that this game destroyed me. I can. Why did I get involved live? That's on me, not
That
you.
is on you.
All right.
That's on you.
You didn't have to run up the score. I said it was on me.
It was on you.
All right.
You just didn't see the writing on the wall. Knee it! Let's get out of Dodge!
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Can I get an ISO? Come on. Give me the ISO over here.
Give me the ISO. He wants the camera.
Look, I'm going to get nice and comfortable right now. I've been telling you people out there, yes, you people, about the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. My connection to the Irish growing up as a kid. I hated that team. But they called me at the network the most unbiased man here, which means I'm giving you the information straight from the mouth here. You don't have to go anywhere. You get it from me.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
I think Kendra Miller's role continues to grow in this offense. So I think as you're looking at bye weeks continuing on and looking for running back depth, as always, We all know the dynamic can change in a minute, right? We've done this so many times in the last couple of weeks. We were adding Woody Marks before his game. We were adding Brashard Smith last week. I still want to add Brashard Smith this week. I want to add the guys that I think have upside for the second half, and Kendre Miller is definitely one of those backs.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Feels like sometimes you go from bad to worse. Well, I guess it is, but the Miami Dolphins do have one win, but they certainly are not playing up to performance. By the way, understand this. I said to myself before this weekend, Joe, 31-6 was the final, Cleveland Browns and the Miami Dolphins. Now, not even I could have predicted a 25-point win by the Cleveland Browns. But you are looking at a situation for the Miami Dolphins, and I keep saying it is a powder keg right now. This team has clearly quit on his head coach. The quarterback doesn't care about playing at all. Just give me my paycheck. I'm going to go home. The Dolphins going into cooler temperatures and windy, rainy conditions where they're also getting pounded by the own media themselves. This is what you get, a 31-6 performance where Tua got benched. He was atrocious with 3 interceptions. Couldn't give a damn where that ball went, and a passer rating of 24.1. Joe, his QBR, 3.4 in this game. Nobody getting fired in Miami. No more changes to be made. Everything is good. What am I missing?
Yeah, well, what you're missing is total dysfunction that has been there for a while now. And yeah, it's time to blow it up and start from scratch. There's a few organizations here where there are going to be significant changes from the top down, by the way. And it's going to start here in Miami. I mean, outside of that first year, I think he was hired in 2022. Outside of maybe that first year, maybe year and a half there, this offense, he was supposed to be this offensive genius, and it's completely gone off the deep end. He's clearly not that, and he's got a quarterback that can't figure out which way is up, which way is down. I'm a good teammate. I'm not a good teammate. My teammates blow. It's me. This whole thing starts from zero leadership, and he was right about one thing. No leadership from the top down. This was the team that you put together and thought was going to be an opportunity to chase the Bills down. It's laughable on so many levels. And again, but at this point, if I'm Stephen Ross, the owner of the Dolphins, Donnie, wait until the season's over. There is absolutely no reason for you to try to do anything at this point. The season is over. Let it run its course and then fire everyone when it's all said and done.
Now, we just heard from Justin Fields with a ridiculous press conference. How about a couple words here from Mr. McDaniel here on what he was thinking about?
So the way I look at this job is I find it very offensive to all parties involved. If I'm thinking about having the job, I need to be doing my job. So for as long as I coach for the Miami Dolphins in this organization, they'll get everything from me. And I refuse to spend my time thinking about something that you have a job, you do your job, and you do it to the best of your ability, and that's where my concern lies. I think it's offensive to all coaches, players, and the organization if I'm spending that precious time thinking about myself.
Like that organization is just toxic overall. Maybe nobody can ever win there as a head coach. And I do like Mike McDaniel. Like, I think he's a very good offensive coordinator. He'll do a very good job wherever he goes next. But it's not working. Like, the quarterback, the system, and I understand they're injured and you're not getting what you want out of Tua Tagovailoa. But I don't think, like, if you're a genius on offense, you don't wind up with these type of performances on a week-to-week basis. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry.
No, you don't. But you know what really is offensive, Mike McDaniel, is the fact that this organization gave Tua a contract extension that carries a $55 million salary cap hit next year that is fully guaranteed. You're stuck with him. There is nothing you can do with Tua. So congratulations. You backed yourself into this corner. He is going to be your quarterback next year, whether you want him or you don't. Otherwise, Donnie, they're going to do what college programs do. We're just going to pay you to never show up in the building again. That'd be great. Here's $55 million and just go away. But that means they can't They can't get anybody else either. That's the other issue that we have with Miami. Unreal.
By the way, I want to skip down to this game. We got to talk about the Denver Broncos and the New York Giants, the way that ended yesterday. The Denver Broncos first quarter scoring 0. The Denver Broncos second quarter scoring 0. The Denver Broncos third quarter score 0. The fourth quarter, 33 points. 46 total points were scored in that fourth quarter. One team had it. One team didn't. One team had it. One team didn't. 33-32. So many mistakes. So many crazy plays happened here. Set up that fourth quarter in an epic meltdown that if you are a Giants fan, outside of maybe the miracle in the Meadowlands back in the day where the Philadelphia Eagles picked up a fumble, Pisarcik fumbled, and Herman Edwards ran down the sideline, or maybe it was Deshaun Jackson on a punt return. You've seen some bad losses. That one was an all-timer, Joe.
That was the biggest, most epic meltdown that we have seen in a very, very long time. In fact, we've never seen a guy throw for 2 touchdowns and run for 2 touchdowns in 1 quarter. And that's exactly what Bo Nix did. They barely had 100 yards of offense in the first half, Donnie. Everything about this game was all about the Giants until the fourth quarter came. And it was as if the entire defense ran out of gas. Like the altitude hit them all at once, and they couldn't tackle. They couldn't get the Knicks. They couldn't cover anybody. It was just absolutely impossible to think going into that fourth quarter that Denver, forget about winning the game. There was no way that they were going to come back and be able to get it done. But surprise, leave it to Dable to figure out a way to give his team no shot in winning the game in the fourth quarter with that kind of lead. Unbelievable.
Or surprise, your kicker named Jude missed another couple extra points in this game in perfect weather conditions in Denver. Everything went wrong late for the New York Giants. And also, Sean Payton taking a dig at Russell Wilson. Can't give that up, can you?
They found a little spark with that quarterback. I was talking to John Mayer not too long ago, and I said we were hoping that change would have happened long after our game. I have a ton of respect for that organization. I spent 4 of my early years there, coordinating Super Bowl, first game in this stadium before 9/11, close with the Mayor Tisch family. And they found a little spark with that quarterback. I was talking to John Mayer not too long ago, and I said we were hoping that change would have happened long after our game.
Yeah. Say it makes it twice as nice right there. He don't like Russell Wilson. He took a shot at him. They almost lost that football game, but they didn't. Amazing stuff here in the NFL that we saw. And also, time to get the bye. Time to get some best bets here. Time to recap the NFL. So much to get to in so short a period of time. What we do on the early line, we'll be right back.
$20 million too much as far as I'm concerned, but it's not like you're indebted to him or you have to follow through with him. Like, what are we doing? Try to win the damn game by bringing in a quarterback that can actually throw the ball. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what the loyalty to Fields is here and why you thought he gave you the best shot at winning that game without going to the bench.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Hopefully these go better. I'm smashed before 1 on these games. I cannot believe that this game destroyed me. I can. Why did I get involved live? That's on me.
That is on you.
All right.
That's on you.
You didn't have to run up the score. I said it was on me.
It was on you.
Right.
You just didn't see the writing on the wall. Knee it! Let's get out of Dodge!
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Can I get an ISO? Come on. Give me the ISO over here.
Give me the ISO. He wants the camera.
Look, I'm going to get nice and comfortable right now. I've been telling you people out there, yes, you people, about the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. My connection to the Irish growing up as a kid. I hated that team. But they called me at the network the most unbiased man here, which means I'm giving you the information straight from the mouth here. You don't have to go anywhere. You get it from me.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
I think Kendra Miller's role continues to grow in this offense. So I think as you're looking at bye weeks continuing on and looking for running back depth, as always, we all know the dynamic can change in a minute, right? We've done this so many times in the last couple of weeks. We were adding Woody Marks before his game. We were adding Brashard Smith last week. I still want to add Brashard Smith this week. I want to add the guys that I think have upside for the second half, and Kendra Miller is definitely one of those backs.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
What a show, what a show, what a show, people, on a Monday. This is how to start your work week. This is the way to get down to business. This is how you get caught up so you can hang around the water cooler. But also, when you listen to us, we still like to listen to you, the viewers, as well. How do we do that? With our Fade the Public poll. Ah, yes. We like to reach out to the public, see what's on their mind. Some people ask, well, how do you do that? Well, you just got to go to X and follow at SportsGrid, our account, and we ask a simple daily question here on the early line each and every day, which comes out roughly around 6 a.m. Eastern. It was easy to have a decision today on what question to ask. Why? Because we got a Game 7 in Major League Baseball in the ALCS. The question we asked to the people today was, who do you think will win Game 7 of the ALCS? There's only two choices, people. It's the Mariners, it's the Blue Jays. No line included. Just pick the winner, Joe. It looks like the public, and I agree with, it's going with the Toronto Blue Jays at close to live 64.4% of the votes coming in on those Jays up there in the 6.
Well, I mean, listen, they have been in many aspects the more dangerous team, right? Outside of a couple of home runs here. Seattle has not been a better defensive team. They have not been, certainly from a momentum standpoint here, it's all Toronto, and Toronto's going to be at home where they've been the best team in the American League all year long there. So there's no reason to think that Bieber's not going to go out there and piggyback off of his best start all year long, which was in Game 3 in this series. It feels like that's exactly why you went out and traded for him. It feels like it might be destiny here, and Seattle might come up just a little bit short.
The long ball tonight's going to play that difference because, it doesn't feel like it's going to be tic-tac-toe baseball, get a walk, bunt him the second, base hit to get him the third, sac fly there to get him home at this point. Who's going to hit that big home run? Both of these lineups like to go yarders. If Vladimir Guerrero Jr. going to step up to the plate, I just think now the momentum was Toronto's sides. They can close the door tonight, get a good effort out of Bieber, and we'll see where we wind up. But, Joe, seeing where we wind up here means who's going to win some money? It's time for Bye, Bye, Bye. We got hockey, we got baseball, we got football. There's so many different ways that you can go tonight. Joe Ranieri, on your card tonight, where is your best bet going?
Well, we're going to go a little Monday Night Football in the latter game here with the Texans traveling to take on the Seattle Seahawks. And we're going to look at that under, Donnie, 41.5 in this game. And listen, I mean, the Texans had back-to-back blowout wins prior to their bye last week. But both, and we talked about it, were Tennessee and the JV squad of the Baltimore Ravens doesn't mean you fixed your issues on offense. Doesn't mean that your offensive line is all of a sudden the best in the league. No, it's awful. And the Seahawks on defense are going to take full advantage and show that. And on the flip side, listen, that Texans defense is real. They're a top 5 defense. I don't know that Sam Darnold's going to be throwing the ball all over the yard. I think this game is going to be won or lost in the trenches. But altogether, Donnie, this has got 2013 written all over it. I don't see us getting 40 or more points in this game. I think the defense has shined in this one. I'm looking at the under tonight.
Under tonight, late night, 10 o'clock start out there on the West Coast. For me, Joe, I'm actually going to come back east a little bit to the Rust Belt there, to Motown and Detroit. Understand this. I understand how good the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have been, and particularly how good their quarterback is. They are going to get some help back at the wide receiver position, which should help. But when I look at that offense for Detroit, particularly at home, nobody is stopping them. So if I keep it simple tonight, which I like to do on these picks, which has served me so well, I say to myself, do I think Detroit wins this game? Yes. What is that line? -5.5. Give me the Detroit Lions to get the victory tonight over Tampa Bay by a touchdown in this game. Do I think we get points? Yes. Do I think Baker pays well? Yes. But also, that Detroit offense will be humming once again. Great offensive line, great tailbacks, great wide receiver, great tight end. They'll put the pressure on Tampa Bay and force Tampa Bay to play that backup role in the second half of trying to come back and win. Not going to be enough. Detroit by a touchdown tonight, Joe. That's where I'm going. How about it?
That it will be a much more entertaining game, I think, than my game, Donnie. I think my game will be a rock fight, while your game should see a whole lot of points being scored. Should be a lot of fun to watch and go down.
That's the way it is. And by the way, tomorrow, we will always be back on the early line. The NBA season is starting anew. Doubleheader in football, Game 7 of Major League Baseball, hockey on the board tonight. No better place to be than tuned into the SportsGrid Network. It's just how we do business. For Donnie Rightside and Joe Ranieri, we'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early, for another edition of the Early Line.